Hey guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wilds. As you can tell, I'm doing the 10 item 24-hour dollar store challenge. Now, as part of that challenge, I've decided to ride my bike into where I will be camping instead of driving my vehicle. Just kind of a thing that I decided to do because I don't think I'm getting quite enough exercise and I want to be more active and get in better shape. So today, bicycle. Stay tuned. We've got a great episode coming up for you. So I think I found a nice spot. Kind of bit of a dilemma. The areas, at least in where I live around London, the areas that have a lot of building material, firewood, kind of whatever, video-wise, camera, background, backdrop, whatever, kind of boring. Makes it a whole lot easier for me to do the tasks that I have to do, but I mean, scenery, background. This looks a lot nicer. Areas that look nice don't really have a whole lot of building materials, firewood. It's a bit of a drag, to be honest. But and everywhere you go, there's usually people around. I mean, up in Muskoka, not a problem. I can go to a place that has all the material I need. You don't really get bothered by a lot of people. There's, tons of scenery and whatever. And I can do that in multiple locations. Just anywhere I go, almost. But not around here. But they do call it the Survival Challenge. So I'm going to go for the better scenery and make it a little bit harder on myself to build what I need to build and have my firewood and kind of whatever, and see how that works out for me. So let's dig into the 10 items that I brought. Alright, first of all, let's talk about this bag. Most of the time you see guys doing this survival challenge and they'll come, walking in with no bag, or like the dollar store bag, or something along that lines. It's my personal opinion. Okay, my glasses are really dirty from sweat and whatnot. It's my personal opinion that unless they're half out of their minds, they're going to be carrying some safety gear. That's better. Now, the safety gear is going to consist of, at the very least, a good, well-stocked first aid kit. Most of those first aid kits, the good ones, the ones that are properly stocked, I'm alone in the woods. I'm going to want to make sure that if I have some sort of major accident, I can at least take care of myself to the best of my ability that's going to be able to get me to a point that I can get somebody to help me. That's not going in a dollar store bag. Least of all, riding a bicycle or even just hiking through the woods. That bag rips open and you start losing stuff. No. Also, I did ride my bike from my house all the way to the location I'm at right now. That took an hour and a half, I think. It took a while. I don't want to be riding a bicycle with a dollar store bag or a shopping bag of any kind and trust that it's going to hold all my gear, because I can get a fair clip. I get 45 kilometers an hour on a bicycle. If something falls out of that and hits the ground at 45 kilometers an hour, it's going to ruin it, chances are. So I put everything into this bag. This used to be my AV bag. Now, there it is. So, for the items that don't count against my 10 items, I have my flare and bear bang kit and my first aid. That is it. That is my something went horribly wrong area. And I need to dig into this to save my own life. Now, no offense, but if you do stuff like this and you do not carry some sort of a backup safety something or other like that, you really should reevaluate. Okay? You really should. That's a little bit crazy. Also, this is the bag that the tripod goes into. And this is the bag where I have the batteries for the camera. And the camera goes in here as well. And I have some battery packs to charge my batteries. You never know. I mean, I'm only out here for 24 hours. I probably won't need them, but you never know. And then I have a selfie stick, which the camera will attach to if I happen to want to use it for whatever. So, and the charger cord. So, yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff that is not part of my 10 items that I need in order to do this safely. So before I dig into the bag, I just wanted to say that when I first started seeing these survival challenge things pop up, I thought they were kind of lame, to be honest. Because, I mean, you know, you go into the woods with 10 items and you survive for 24 hours. I mean, I could do that with my buck knife. You know, it might not be the most ideal situation, but I could do it. It's not much of a challenge. But I started watching them, and everybody seemed to be having a lot of fun while they did it. And that's really what it's all about. It's not really so much the challenge. It's the dollar store 10 item 24-hour fun thing that we do. And I want to get in on the fun too. So, you know, I decided to go to Dollarama and buy a bunch of items to do this whole thing so that you know, I can get in on it. Now, as I understand it, you can pretty much pick any 10 items that you want. But you have to spend a full 24 hours doing the challenge. You have to build a fire and a shelter and sleep the night in that shelter, obviously. And you have to have 2 meals, food and water, or food and drink, while you're doing it. Breakfast and dinner. So I went with the basic premise that regardless of what you're doing, your basic survival kit should have at least the first 5 C's of Dave Canterbury's 10 C's of Survival. So that's more or less where I based the majority of the kit from. So, without further ado, let's dig in. Cover. So here is the tarp, which cost me $4 at Dollarama from Duramax. Sorry if you guys can hear the background noise. There's a bunch of ignorant people fishing over there, and they can see that I'm filming, and they're still being idiots. Okay, candling, which is not necessarily one of the first 5, but it's the next thing out of the backpack. So for candling, I got this. That is the Voltax utility light. It has 3 modes. Its highest mode is 900 lumens. It comes with batteries, which was a big reason why I bought it. And as you can see from the back, it's got a fold-out clip and a fold-out sort of stand, so you can stand it or hang it wherever you like, which makes it pretty utilitarian. All right, for cutting, first of all, I have the 7-in-1 multi-function cutlery set from camp. Not what I actually intended on getting from there, but they didn't have any of the folding knives that I was going for. And then I saw this and I thought, well, now I don't have to carve eating utensils, and there's still a knife with it. So it separates into 2 units, so knife and fork can be used simultaneously. It also has like a corkscrew and a can opener and a bottle opener, fork, knife, spoon, and something called a tent reamer, which to me looks kind of like an awl. So, I don't know, whatever. And as a redundancy to cutting, I got the Duramax folding saw. And that was $4 as well. So let me see, that was probably $4 as well, but there's no actual tag on it. So far everything's been $4. It was probably around $25 for everything, to be honest. So I got 10 items, not $10 worth of items, because you just can't do that. They didn't have any ferro rods or magnesium ferro rods there. They usually do, but they don't. They didn't. So I got a lighter for my combustion device. And for container, I just got like a stainless steel cup that's enameled. It says Head Gardener on it for now. It won't for long, because when I put that in a fire, it will blacken up. Everybody seems to use like those bowls, those big dog bowls, or the little pots that you can get from there, or kind of whatever. Honestly, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. And I could cook in that, totally. I could totally cook in that. So, didn't bother with anything too big and wonky like that. Okay, so that's 4 of the first 5 C's plus 1 of the second 6 to 10 C's, last 5 C's. So for the last of the 5 C's, cordage, I got mason twine. Now that was $1.50 for 200 feet. It is stronger than jute, like a lot stronger than jute, and it comes with a lot more on the roll. And you've seen me use this before. It's an old friend. I went with that again because it is pretty reliable. It's not super strong, but it's not bad. Okay, so what's that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 items. That is all of the C's that I brought. I don't need like a canvas needle. I don't need like a compass or anything. I'm in here for 24 hours. I've been exploring this area for about 15 years now, so I know my way around. We're fine with that. That'll get me through. So I need 2 meals, complete with something to drink. Well, along the Thames River here, yeah, I don't really trust this water. If I was in Muskoka, that'd be a different story. But here, I don't really trust this water. So, I brought my own. Now, this is sealed. I will crack it open on camera to prove it. This cost me like $1.25 for 4 liters of natural spring water, so it says. It's probably just filtered tap water, but still. I grabbed a 1 liter for like $1, and I started to walk away, and this caught my eye. It was down on the bottom of the shelf, and I was like, holy jumpins, like $1.50 or whatever for that. That's definitely enough for 24 hours. And if it's not, I do have access to water. I'd have to rig something up to really filter, clean it out. Without my water filter, I just don't want to drink it. And my 2 meals. I've got cooked ham with the little key on it that opens it up, and corned beef with the little key on it that opens it up. So, hobo's choice. And that is that. So, oh, and I mean, cheers. I got this on the way, and it's kind of hard to drink and ride and, you know, kind of whatever. So I still have some coffee, but I'm not counting that as part of my 10 items because I got that on the way here and I wasn't driving, so I didn't drink it all. But getting up fairly early, getting on a bike and getting out here, I needed more than just one cup of coffee to get on the road. So I had one when I woke up and this one on the way. So yeah, I've got my safety kit in here, the bag. Now, another reason why I'm bringing this bag, I brought everything in the packaging. And anything that I don't burn, like all the cardboard and kind of whatever, I probably won't burn the plastic. I will cart all my garbage out. Okay, I'm not leaving anything in the woods. I'm not making a mess. So, and I mean, you start cutting a lot of this packaging open and try to stuff it into a plastic bag, there's going to be little sharp edges. And it's going to rip that bag wide open. So I am carting out all of my trash. And that's another reason for this bag. Oh, all right. So first of all, I need shelter. I need to get my shelter put up. Now, most people sleep on the ground with, you know, maybe some garbage bags and they stuff them full of leaves and kind of whatever. Well, I didn't get garbage bags. I thought about it, but I didn't. If I didn't bring in my own water, garbage bags probably would have been it. But I didn't do that, so I'm going to do something different. And I don't want to sleep on the ground. I don't. I'm not going to sleep on the ground if I don't have to. So I think some of you guys might know where I'm going with this. It's time to get a shelter built. Now, to get what I need to build my shelter, at the very least I'm going to need this folding saw. Most likely. I like the idea of the handguard there, you know, being that it's such a smaller type saw than what I'm used to using. But it does make it really big and clunky, eh? And I'm going to need this knife. Well, I'm probably not going to need it, but just in case, I'm going to get it out. And it looks like I need a knife to get into this knife. There we are. Yeah, I have to say it's not very sharp. Well, it'll have to do for now, obviously. But I was concerned about that it wouldn't come out of the package very sharp at all, and it didn't. The point isn't even pointy. But I am on the river, and there is a lot of river stones, and that's part of the reason why I chose this location, because I can get a nice, flat, wet river stone, and I can sharpen this up later on. But for now, into the knife pocket it goes, and now I get building material. When I tested this saw out before, it was on dead wood. And I will tell you what, against a live tree, this thing leaves a little to be desired. Now, it does have like some fairly good sized teeth on it. It should be all right for softwood. Which don't seem to have an abundance of around here. But yeah, it's not as good on live wood as it was dead. Gets the job done though, and it probably does better than the non-folding saws that they have there. I've seen a couple of guys use those on some of the similar videos to this, and well, once again, it gets the job done, but it just doesn't seem to be a cut above, shall we say.